Hey guys, back with another review. Today we're taking a look at the Broadway Limited Paragon 3 USRA Heavy Mikado steam locomotive. This is a nickel plate road variation, so we'll see what you get in the box starting next. Alright, we're going to take off the lid here. Slow unveil this time. Let's see what's inside. Broadway Limited warranty information. I believe it is a 1-year limited warranty, correct. Exploded parts diagram for the tender and the locomotive on the other side. I know that's upside down. Broadway Limited Operator's Manual, they all look the same now in terms of the nice glossy appearance and all the functions, CVs, maintenance, etc. Choo-choo shoes flyer inside. So pink and boys. And the locomotive, which is really what it's all about. I'm going to pull this out of the box. I have already noticed one thing about Broadway Limited locomotives recently that has changed. I don't know if you have noticed as well, but you've got the tools and the traction tires, which have been in there for a while, but when you open up plastic case, you have this nice quality felt in here now. Kind of out of view, but this right here, ooh, smooth. And plastic protecting the locomotive. So a nice touch, kind of a high quality touch, which Broadway Limited's locomotives are high quality, even though I'm handling this thing very, very poorly right now, trying to get everything out of the way with one hand and working around the camera. But locomotive's out, tender's already attached. Let's take a closer look. Now, people told me to quit rattling off parts so much, so I'll try to contain myself. I think I've proven that to the peanut gallery that I can name off some parts, but overall you do have details all over this locomotive. Smoke box door has an LED headlight. You have classification markers that are non-lit. Now, one does look slightly positioned below the other, left to right. You got the dynamos on the front of this locomotive, smokestack, and got all this beautiful front end detail here. I'm gonna try to shut up about this, but a really nice side rod detail, eccentric crank, and the piston, and you've got the lead trucks and everything. Separately applied grab irons running along the side, and then molded in plumbing otherwise, and then some separately applied plumbing below. You got the firebox rivets down here. You can even see the safety valves whistle. You've got roof vents back here. Let me see if they open and close. They do. Both are opening and closing. Rivet detail molded in here. Nice coal load. Looks realistic. Water hatch on the back of the tender. Nickel plate road on the side, along with some of the specifications of the tender on the side as well. Rivets going both up and down and left and right here. And stair steps to get to the tender. A little hard to see. I've got to kind of displace the tender, and I need to get some light on it, but there is boiler backhead detail. Peeking out there on the side, you should be able to see the butterfly doors for the firebox and some support bracing and other features inside, but nice boiler backhead detail there. As we turn this around, give you a close-up on this side of the locomotive and all the detail, the adorns. One bad thing about my camera is the more it's zoomed in, the more shaky it is, so trying to stabilize that out there for you. Dry wheels and everything are nice flat black. There's no chipped paint or anything. Good job so far in detail. Alright, with Broadway Limited locomotives, there's an advanced startup that is more sophisticated or detailed, and then there's a slower startup. So I will look at the more advanced startup here. So what you heard there was an engineer walking up to the locomotive, or the crew walking up, kind of the gravel, the ballast in their boots. Then they get in, you start hearing the locomotive come to life, and eventually the dynamo starts up, and that was that whine towards the end of the startup. Let's go ahead and listen to the bell. Whistle. Now this is Paragon 3, which means if you buy the separate subwoofer and receiver, you'll get bass sounds that simulate you being trackside. Pretty cool feature. Very hard to hear in video, but nonetheless, when the Paragon 3 is on, you get to hear that. I'm gonna move this now. Slow speed control starting off at 1 speed step. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Reverse now, 1 speed step, 2, 3. Oh, I'm sorry, we're still at 2 there. 3, 4, 5, 6, 'Looks like there's a slow speed hesitation in rear until I get up in speed. So we're now at 12 and it's moving along, but at speed steps less than 9 there's a rear or reverse hesitation. I'm going to go over a few functions including bell and whistle, so listen up. There's the whistle. And you also have a ton of other features, all the way to 28 functions. One of my favorites, though, are some of the higher functions like the background sounds.
Permission of the park. Be advised, switches on the north end might be against you, so go out looking out for switches. That's radio. Emergency, 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 emergency here on the 8 track.
So there you have some of the functions, just a few, but there's 28. Another favorite of mine with Broadway Limited is that you can record and play macro, which means you can record a sequence, play it back, and the locomotive will go around your layout automatically going through that sequence. Whether that's bell and whistle, that's slowing down and speeding up, all of those things can be recorded and played back. Take a look at coupler height real quick. Just line them up there. Slight angle downwards, maybe a little low on that end. Very, little bit of variation. It's up to you to decide whether it's a problem or not. Some people's coupler heights are more stringent than others. That one appears to be dead on. Now, Broadway Limited has really good pull tests, the best in the industry in my opinion on steam. So it'll be interesting with this short steam locomotive how much the pull test will get, I guess. So we're moving along here to see. So we're already at 5.2 ounces. That's over 75 cars. Plenty for this short steam locomotive to pull. Alright, we're going to check wheel sets on screen here for NMRA standards. Wheels and gauge are very important to not catch switches and things like that. They are all engaged so far. We'll continue to the back end. trailing truck and the tender wheels. We are good there. All right, we're going to do a weight test, weight check on the locomotive. 1 pound, 3.0 ounces. That's 19 ounces total, 540 grams, 0.540 kilograms. So pretty good. The scale always adjusts down very, very slightly at the end, but you see it's a robust locomotive for being so short. It's over a pound. So that's why you got the great pulling power, along with Broadway has done some sort of magic with the drivers or the gearing to make the pulling power the best in the industry. There's a lot of Broadway Limited fans on my channel, which I really appreciate, and they always ask to hear the second horn or whistle that you can toggle to. So I'm going to play the original one here. It is out of the box first. And I simply hit F22 and I can play the second one. So those are the two whistles that you can toggle back and forth from on this locomotive. Well, that's going to wrap up the review of this Broadway Limited locomotive. Heavy Mikado, pretty nice nickel plate road, nice printing and detail and all that jazz. The thing that really impressed me about the locomotive though is the pulling power. I don't know what kind of magic Broadway Limited's doing down there, or engineering, to get the pulling power they're getting out of their steam locomotives, but to be able to pull that many cars, over 75 I think it was, with such a short locomotive is insane. So very good on them there. And their prices are affordable on steam. In my opinion, the best prices for the best value you get in steam locomotives in the hobby. That said, I'm going to leave you with a run by of just this little guy by himself, by his lonesome, and we'll see you next time right here on my channel. Take care.